already know that. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Giving the shout outs right now. This is my first live stream of the day. Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m. I'm going to be going live with Gary from 3D Boxing and Muscles. We're going live 11 a.m. my time. So 4.5 hours from now, 9 p.m. on the East Coast in America. So guys, if you haven't already, as you're tapping in, like this video. If you haven't joined our Johnny Says Boxing VIP membership, join now. That's pinned in the comment section below. It's a couple bucks a month on YouTube. You then get access and become members to our Discord. The Discord, we're over 200 members now, VIPs, professional bettors. You're getting our boxing, MMA, Dana White Contender Series, UFC, NFL, American college football. So it's a fun little Discord. Guys, if you haven't checked my playlist section out this week, I've already uploaded 2 videos, 2 Stats Don't Lie videos. Those videos are under the playlist Fight Predictions. You're going to find my breakdown, analysis, and predictions. So far, I uploaded Christian and Billy versus Lester Martinez 2 days ago. Yesterday, I uploaded Serhii Boacek versus Brandon Adams. After this live stream, I'm uploading Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. I'm going to be getting into the Callum Walsh Fernando Vargas. I'm also going to be getting into the Naoya Inoue fight. If I have time, there's other fights I want to get into. Steven Nelson versus Raiko I want to talk about. I want to talk about Olasquaga. He's fighting in a couple nights. There's a fight tomorrow night that's a fun fight. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. You guys, as you're checking in, let me know what's up. I was actually on a message board this morning. People were like, why is Dana promoting Callum Walsh? I don't understand why the UFC and, now Sella, it was UFC Fight Pass Boxing. Why? He wasn't even a highly touted prospect. And I go, mate, that's a simple, it's not shocking to get to the truth on why they were promoting Callum Walsh the way they were promoting. You guys are aware of what happened in 2015, right? With the UFC, with a kid from Ireland, with a whole country behind him. That literally changed MMA and the UFC forever. Dana White, I don't know if he still feels this way. He feels that he went after Callum Walsh. He spoke about this, trying to hit lightning in a bottle twice, thinking that Walsh had the skill set, Walsh had the talent to recreate and, sort of manufacture the buzz that Conor did for MMA and the UFC. Dana has put all this backing behind Callum, thinking he could do the same. The only difference is you got to be good on the mic. You got to be able to chat shit. Conor McGregor, the difference, obviously, his X factor, obviously he backed it up. When he was cooking in his prime, his striking, his timing, his distance, his countering, beautiful striker. Say what you want about him. You can't take that away. Some of the most beautiful counters you'll ever see. Fluidity. Amazing. But you mix that, because there's a lot of great strikers in MMA. There's a lot of beautiful, talented sort of counter boxers if you're into the striking like myself. But there aren't a lot of guys who could sell fights. There aren't a lot of guys. There's only one Conor McGregor. So to put a bow on that, that's why. That's the real intention why Dana was going so hard and is going so hard with Callum. We'll see. He's fighting Fernando Vargas Jr. Kind of a step-up fight for both guys. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to say what's up to you boys now. We got a new VIP. Welcome to LG. LG, go to my channel and go to the post section. All the insiders, you have more access on my YouTube channel. You'll find an insider post section, and you'll see the Discord link there. And if you don't get the Discord link, message me and I'll send it to you. King of Fitness, what's up, brother? Blessings to you as well. Money Merch, let's go. Boxing fans, up, Johnny in chat. Walk in. Brush the feet off, give some dap, throw up your city, hit the like button. Bath Boy, this feels like Super Bowl weekend. Mate, it does, doesn't it? It does. Dude, there's so many good fights. How you feeling about Walsh over, Nelson over? Ooh, Bath. I'm probably taking. I like the 2 money lines actually. I'm probably taking Walsh and then Raiko Santana to beat Nelson. I gotta be honest with you. We could get into it if you want. If you guys want me to back up any of my picks, just ask me. Christian Morales, good morning. Guys, also in the Discord and on YouTube, I gave you guys my Dana White Contender Series picks. So those are free. But moving forward for the rest of the week, the only other free picks you're going to get is the long parlay. I'm posting my long parlay tomorrow. In the Discord, I'm giving you my method of victory. I'm giving you my upset alert picks. I'm giving you my, there's one pick that I'm really going heavy on. So you'll see that in the Discord. Were you supposed to be on a live with Gary Muscles? Yeah, I'm going live with Gary and Muscles in 4 hours. I think Gary posted something on it. I think Gary went live, but he messed up. Goat says, Johnny, so it seems to you Bomac going 0-3. Ooh, I didn't look at it that way, but Goat, I didn't look at it that way. So who are his fighters? He got Lester, he got Bud. Yeah, I got my Billy beating Lester. I mean, I'm uploading Canelo versus Bud, after I get off. I don't see Bud beating Canelo, guys. I got to be honest with you. I don't. And I'm a Bud fan. This is where I think, though, people are going to make a lot of money with. I was on the phone late last night with Muscles. We were talking about this. All the smoke. So Andre Ward and Roy Jones released their interview, and I was watching it on my own. And then Muscles hit me up. He said somebody in the Discord brought it up. They were like, "Hey, mate, did you see the interview about Roy and Ward?" I go, "Yeah, I just watched it. I felt that was it." When you have guys like Roy Jones Jr. and Andre Ward, look, I know they're friends with Bud. I understand that. But those guys have a platform. Those guys get a lot of people who look up to them and a lot of average boxing fans who turn to guys like Roy, who turn to guys like Andre to get a perspective on upcoming fights. And I think, this is going to sound, I'm not hating when I say this. This is me coming at this from a journalistic perspective. Guys, I've been basically an independent journalist for over 10 years. Read the books that I write. In those books that I write, half of the book are interviews of me sitting down and researching whatever I'm writing about. This is called journalism, right? It's the main reason I started my boxing channel, because I was like, there's nobody in the boxing YouTube space at the time with a big following that is giving down the middle perspective on how fights are going to go down, unbiased opinion. So I'm watching Ward and Roy talk about it, and they're just gaslighting everybody. Roy's like, weight classes don't matter. On fight night, Bud's body is going to tell him what to do. I'm like, what are you talking about? Weight classes don't matter. So, and then you hear him say weight classes don't matter, and then you go to the comment section below and you read the comments, and everyone's like, yeah, Roy, I've always said that. Weight classes don't matter. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Weight classes do matter. It's the main thing. Literally, weight classes is the main thing. It's insane, dude. And then hearing Dre and I'm a fan of Roy, one of my favorite fighters. There was a span of a decade where Roy was the greatest of all time. Andre Ward, big fan of his career, big fan of how he goes about his business. I have his book right over here. So, but to see guys, I'm going to use them as an example, and there's many people who are picking Bud with give me a path to victory how Bud wins. That's all I want, because I'm giving you the path to victory of how Canelo wins. I'm telling you how Canelo wins. I don't see how Bud wins this fight. I'm a Bud fan. I'm not a Canelo fan. I've never been a Canelo fan, but I don't do my content to be a fanboy. I do the content because I know some of you boys out there don't really know too much about Bud or Canelo, and you're betting your money on what I'm telling you. You guys are taking your money and putting it on a fighter that you're learning from what you hear from me. Now, I'm not 100% accurate. Nobody is. But the one thing I'm not is going to sit there and tell you this guy's going to win because I don't like the other guy. And, to put a bow on this, I think Canelo should be, I think he should be way bigger of a favorite. I do. But I think for guys like Roy, guys like Andre Ward, people are going to make a shitload of money on this fight. I don't think Canelo right now is $1.59. You put 10 grand on Canelo to just win, you're getting 6,000 back. That to me seems like a goddamn steal. And like I said, I'm going for Bud. I'm watching this fight, cheering for Crawford. I want to see him become undisputed in the 3-weight divisions. I want to see him come up from 47 to 68 and do it. But I don't see him doing it. I definitely don't. But people are like, oh, he's going to outbox Canelo. I'm like, what are you talking about? When's the last time Bud outboxed anybody? I'll tell you when. The last time Crawford won by outboxing somebody, 2016, it was 140 pounds. It was Victor Postel. That's the last time. Why is that significant? Because that's the only way people were saying Bud's going to win. Is he going to hurt Canelo? Canelo's been in there with some huge punchers. You know, Triple G. You know, we've never even seen Canelo dropped. Triple G. You know, when he fought Kovalev. Always fighting bigger guys. Caleb Plant is a monster. I'm not saying he's the biggest guy, but, you know, Plant is the last guy that Canelo stopped in 2021. So you're telling me that Crawford is going to come up to 68 and also in the pocket, mate. People are sleeping on Canelo's hand speed when he's countering. Canelo counterboxes. So I think it's going to be a long night. I think it's going to be a long night for Crawford. And like I said, I'm going to be watching it, cheering for him. But I'm not betting any money. I'm betting my money on Canelo. I mean, I just don't see. And I apologize to Robert Floss. I apologize to the boys on my channel. Because, guys, a year ago, people used to accuse me of being a Crawford channel. I need to say this, and I think it's fair to mention, is that everything I just told you is true. But it wasn't too long ago where, because I was doing a lot of Crawford content, because he's one of my favorite fighters, people would come out and be like, this is a pro Bud channel. This is a Crawford channel. I was like, it's not. It's just, I value the way Crawford goes about his business. EV44, there was a video that I watched about the Nelson fight, and he mentioned Santana participating in some one-round boxing league. That alarms me. No, that shouldn't alarm you. That's the TC. EV44 ounce, we talked about this yesterday on the live stream with TJ from Chilltown. That should, because he's been active, Santana, that's better for him. It is Nelson who, not that active, injury, old. I think there's great value on Ryko versus Nelson. I got to be honest with you. Time and time again, I say it, boxing is a popularity contest. Roy is the reason I started watching boxing. Yeah, Roy's one of my favorite guys. RJ, a lot of people saying Bud will work behind the jab and use his feet. Yeah, dude. I mean, when Bud isn't a mover, this is another thing. Bud's going to use his feet. Since when does Bud use his feet? I mean, Bud has decent footwork, but you wouldn't call him a mover. Bud is a guy who wants to bully you. Bud is going to fight your ego, and I think it's that. I think it's Bud's own the pride he has is going to be his undoing. He's going to fight Canelo in the pocket. We're going to see if he can hold up. I think Canelo's going to break his body down, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bud's corner stops it late. That's what I could see. Everything that I think I know, maybe I don't know shit, but everything that I think I know since I was 7 years old, watching the sport as a 5-year-old, walking into my first gym as a 7-year-old, for people to say weight classes don't matter, that's what's crazy because Roy is one of the greatest of all time. For him to say that, that's freaking insane. That is freaking insane because there's people walking around now who read that or watched Roy talk who are going to regurgitate that, talking about weight classes don't matter. That is absolute horseshit. Walk into any boxing gym, weight classes do matter. Spar, weight classes do matter. It's insane. A lot of people saying Bud will work behind the jab. When has Bud ever worked behind his jab? Canelo was around minus 500 against Bivol. Follow the money. Boxing fan, weight classes don't matter and dating only. But I stay in my... Touche, boxing fan. Mike trades. John, why you don't like Canelo, bro? I feel Canelo good. Okay, Mike, it's not that I don't like Canelo. When I said... I have to clarify. I'm not a hater. If I was a hater, I wouldn't be picking Canelo. I'm talking about career-wise. Growing up boxing, how, Bud... I've watched Crawford since he was a 135er. Maybe it was the fight against Ricky Burns when he had to go over from the U.S. to the U.K. to become a champion. Maybe it was the underdog sort of approach that, he always felt he was being overlooked. Maybe it was Top Rank how they treated him. Maybe it's that. Canelo, he had to fight a lot of tough fights when he was younger, but when Canelo broke through, King Canelo. So I think my reasoning why I said that was more about I've always kind of felt like an underdog too in life, and I feel that Crawford sort of epitomizes that, and that's, for me, it's endearing for me to watch his career. That's what I meant. He does take a lot of people hate on Canelo. They're just haters. The dude is a legend. Boxing fan, 2 months, playa. Boxing fan, been a member for 2 months. So, guys, Boxing fan was the very first Johnny Says Boxing Insider. We started this 2 months ago. We are getting into it. Fresh BX. One of the corniest things about boxing is you can't have an opinion without being an overzealous fan or hater. Yeah, what if it's my genuine perspective? Perspective is fine. Opinion is fine. Fresh BX. I'm not hating on people who disagree. This is not an echo chamber. We all have different opinions. I feel though, when you have a guy like Roy, who knows who climbed through the weight classes. I mean, he beat John Ruiz, I think, at heavyweight. Come on, dude. He knows the weight classes matter. Think it's gonna be Canelo on points or a draw. Shout out boxing. What's up, Vic? Badger, what are you putting your money on? Canelo by stoppage? Badger, right now, man, there's so much value Canelo on the money line. There's so much value Canelo on the money line. It's almost like I feel guilty. Like I said, you put 10 grand on Canelo just to win, you're getting 6 back. That's insane to me. So if I am probably going to get a little bit sexy with my method of victory, I'm going to do a method of victory parlay. I'll put it up in the Discord. Be yourself. I think Crawford will go the 12 rounds. We'll lose on the scorecards. That's another thing you got to think about. That's another thing you got to think about is the A side versus B side. What's next? We brought this up yesterday in the live stream with. I was on the live stream with Chilltown TJ, and you know, unfortunately, if you are talking conspiracy theory, you do have to talk about, you know, Mexican Independence Day. Canelo, A side, if it goes to the cards, you do have to bring that up. I'm not saying that's why I'm picking Canelo. I just think Canelo is going to be too much for Bud. I think his punch selection, I think his hand speed, I think his power, I think his size, I think Bud's limited path to victory versus Canelo's multiple paths to victory. People are, that's insane. See, let me know if it's frozen, guys. That sucks. I told you guys yesterday, go to your corner, Johnny, and reset. I uploaded. Tell me, is it frozen? Yeah, it's frozen. Unbelievable. Is it good now? Guys, yesterday, I told you this 2 days ago, I upgraded streaming service. And it's not, this is the second live stream in a row where it's done this. Pisses me off. Pisses me off. That was weird. Good seeing you back. Yeah, it's insane. Okay, so where was I? What's the last thing you guys heard? Talk to me. What were we on? Because I was in a rant. What? You're back, mate. All right, Breaking Bad Boxing. What's up, buddy? That's my guy. What was the last thing you guys heard before it froze? I should mention it's been storming here in Sydney for 2 straight days. I have a new live streaming set. Johnny, you're on the same page as me and my fam. Bud's aggression, once it turns into a firefight, will be his downfall. I think so, mate. Turkey's even